I drink a lot of coffee, and we always had coffee at home. And my dad would even pour some on the ground. He said the spirits love coffee. They love the sugar in it. He said that's why I put a lot of sugar in it. The spirits love it. And he used to share things like this, but the one thing that I've noticed is that there was a disease during the ration period when the Cheyennes were suffering from malnutrition really bad. They weren't given very much food. They were basically starving to death when they were put on the reservations. They had to survive on their own horse herds because the government couldn't. They promised them rations, and many times they used the rations to punish people. If you didn't do this, you couldn't get rations. Your family would do without. But every time we visited someone, all the children were given coffee, because tuberculosis makes a person real weak, and there's not very much life in them. They have no energy. So when they discovered coffee, when the government gave them coffee and they roasted the green beans, they found out that it got them excited. It gave them energy. So because it gave them energy, they thought it would be good to be drank so that they could prevent tuberculosis. See, tuberculosis was a scary disease to the Indian people. They were sent to sanitariums where they were taken from their family. And it wasn't they weren't taken by a clinic or the ambulance or anything like that. They were taken by the police. And the whole village knew this. And they would see this person put in the back of a police car and taken to South Dakota to one of the sanitariums they had there. Many of these people never returned. So when we went walking into the store and pulling my grandma's little wagon to go shop, buy groceries and kerosene and things like that, we would stop and visit people along the way. And they were so glad to see us when we had come to the house. My grandmother would go inside, and the boys would sit on a wood pile, by the wood pile, because it wasn't good manners for little kids to go in there when they were talking. So we'd sit on a wood pile, and the lady of the house would start baking bread, or if she had bread, she would get out all of her saucers. They used to get they had a collection of saucers that they got out of a box of oatmeal. When they sold oatmeal a long time ago, there was little cups or saucers or a plate inside of the oatmeal box. So the Indians ate a lot of oatmeal so that they could get these little dishes. Well, some of the ladies had a bunch of saucers that they got from the oatmeal boxes. And they would set the table and pour a little Carol syrup in the saucer. And she would tell my grandmother, call the boys in. And we'd come in and we sat down and she gave us a piece of bread and we would dip the bread in the dark Carol syrup. And we also got a cup of coffee that we would eat the bread and with the Carol syrup on it and drink the coffee. It was given to every kid so that they could it would prevent them from ever getting tuberculosis. So it was a thing that went on for many, many years. Today, I try to continue it, but this ritual, but the little kids, they see too much on TV, and they're not into coffee like we were when we were children. And it was a medicine, just like all foods of the Indian people were medicines. They a lot of people that prayed, once they pray, whatever the food they pray over turns into a medicine, and it's very powerful. Mm-hmm. It's to be treated with respect. So coffee is we could say is a medicine. And many people my age still drink coffee today. The young ones aren't into it anymore. So it's just like all the plants we talk about. Coffee was given to the Indians as a green bean, and they roasted it inside their ovens or on top of the stove. And the sign language for coffee is you rub your hands together like this. It resembles a coffee grinder that you grind up the beans with. So you twist your hand like that. That is the sign language for coffee. But it's just one of the things that I wanted to share because it was a medicine to us as a child. We didn't have asthma. We didn't have all the allergies that we have today because of the things the waters we drank, the coffee, the beliefs that was instilled. When people would show their kindness to you, and you could pour some on the ground to give a little to the spirits, to get their blessings. So everything has a lot of magic to it. It has a lot of prayer. It's a very sacred thing.